back again. Today we're going to be showing you how to install these rear sets onto the Honda Ruckus. On the website we're going to have two different styles of rear sets. We're going to have these, which are the cutouts, and we're going to have these, which have the bezel cut here. You can see it's real nice. With these kits you're going to get all the hardware needed. We're going to have the cap, which we're going to show you how to install shortly. The smaller cap. You get the two bolts with the nuts and then the washers provided. So next up we're going to go ahead and put it on a bike and show you guys how we're going to install this. Okay, for this you're going to need a 17 mil open-ended wrench, and you're going to use that for the M10 nylock nuts that are going to go either behind the peg and behind the two other bolts holding the rear set in place. You're going to need a socket wrench along with the 6 mil Allen head, and you can use it if you have just an Allen set, but we have it here for the socket to make it a little bit quicker. And then we're going to use an extender just because it keeps it away from the bike. Alright, and next up we're going to show you how to install this, and you can see we're keeping it kind of like the original with no peg in there right now, and then we'll show you how to do it on the opposing side where you would have your kickstand. Alright, so next up what you're going to do is on your factory frame there's going to be a cap right where Felix has his hand, and you're going to twist that off, pop it off. This one on here is billet. The factory ones are plastic. Now inside that hole where he's going to point there, on the other side there is a bushing. A lot of people, if they powder coat the frames, they'll press it out just like this one that we're using today. Otherwise, if you have the bushing there, that's not a problem. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to take the bigger silver piece here, and it almost looks just like the frame cap. You're going to slide it in like so, and then you're going to have two washers. One of them is going to have a bigger hole and the other one will have the smaller hole. That bigger hole one is going to go first on the back side. Now if you have the factory bushing in there, that's going to sit right around the metal collar on the inside. And then after that you're going to put the smaller of the two washer holes on the back, and this one is going to have what the backing nut is going to hold up against. And what you're going to use for this part is take the bigger of the bolts provided, and you're going to put it through, and you can see on the rear set where it's kind of grooved in, so that bolt's going to sit nice and flush. Push it through and it'll go through that bushing hole if you still have it. You're going to put those two washers over the back, line them up over the bolt, and then loosely put on that M10 nylock nut. Now you can also see that to make sure this is put on correctly, there is a groove cut in the bottom side there, so it's going to look uniform with the frame. And you can see right there where Felix is pointing. Now the reason why we're leaving this on loosely is because you're going to have to put another spacer in on the other side, and what this does is it keeps the rear set away from the frame. So you're going to put that in, and it's going to sit loosely, so make sure that you have the bolt available. You're going to put the bolt through the rear set piece here, and then it's almost best if you put the spacer in, line it up, and push the bolt through. Now on the back side you're going to use one of those washers that we provided. Slide it over. And use that nylock nut. Okay, now that you have the bolt in place, you're going to take that 17 mil open end, stick it on the back over that locking nut, and then you're going to take that Allen head and start tightening the two. Now remember, that backing nut is going to start moving in as you're tightening it, so you might have to move the wrench in with it just to keep it in place. It'll make it a little bit easier on the install. it's nice and tight, and then you're going to repeat the same step on the other side with the top piece. Okay, next up, now that you have that on, you can put your pegs on. You're going to take the bolt, put it through your peg just like you would normally. Put it through the hole on the rear set here. Put your washer on the back side, and then take your nylock nut and go ahead and tighten it up. And with this one, some of them are going to be the hex head bolts, so you'll need that. With ours, it's an Allen head, and it's an 8mm. So we'll go ahead and use that 17mm wrench on the back, and then tighten up the socket bolt right here through the peg. And the peg may turn like you see here. You go ahead and set it back, and then you might want to hold it in place while you're tightening it up just to make sure it gets the right location for you. And there you go. And there you have it. So that is the right hand side, and we'll move over, push the bike around, and get it set up for the left hand side, which is the side with the kickstand. Alright guys, so now on this other side, it's the same thing. We pulled the cap out, and we're just going to get to repeat all the same steps from the other side that we did. Alright, now when you get to this part, if you have the low down kickstand like you see here, it's still going to go in the same. It's going to slide behind that spacer that we have, and inside that, the inside portion of the frame, you're going to take the bolt provided, slide it through, and it's going to go through the rear set, through the spacer, and then through the kickstand itself. And it might be a little bit of a pain to line up, and that's why we leave things loose. Once you're going to get it through, you're going to put the locking nut through on the other side. You're going to tighten it up just like you would with the other side that we've done already. And you can see here we've already just put the peg on ahead of time, which you can do if you'd like to. We just want to show you from the very beginning how to put it all together. And we'll go ahead and wrap this up, tighten it up, and then we'll show you the finished product. And here you have it, the finished product. Now you have your rear sets on, and go ahead and have fun, enjoy them. We're going to have more videos to come, so feel free to keep watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again. Have a good day, guys.